Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on ESTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. The federal government says it is set to train over 10 million youths across the country in digital and technical skills. These skills include programming, artificial intelligence, innovation, plumbing, tiling, and other vocational trades. Ubong Usoro completes the report.
Blessing Ugu said the service providers were selected after a rigorous process, stating that over 10 million Nigerian youth will be trained for 6 months all over the country.
The federal government of Nigeria in this present administration is focusing on training our youth, equipping them with specific skills that with the skills that the students can go out and have jobs.
The program will begin with the signing of the MOU with service providers before the full-scale training commences across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Stakeholders express optimism that the scheme will bridge the skill gap, enhance job creation, and contribute significantly to economic growth. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
A new digital tool has been unveiled to track the performance of Nigeria's lawmakers, known as Deliberative Barometer, covering the first session of the 10th National Assembly. The digital tool evaluates the plenary contributions of all 464 federal lawmakers between June 2023 and June 2024, measuring debates, motions, bills, petitions, and committee reports. Our National Assembly correspondent Anete Patrick tells us more.
At a public ceremony in Abuja, the ELGAF Africa Legislative Governance and Policy Innovation Hub, in partnership with civil society groups, launched the Deliberative Barometer and Policy Focus Productive Report. According to the findings by the President, ELGAF Africa Legislative Governance and Policy Innovation Hub, Chibuzo Okereke, the House of Representatives recorded over 4,200 legislative actions, while the Senate logged more than 2,200. Security, economy, and education emerged as top focus areas. However, the report also revealed that 4% of senators and 12% of representatives recorded zero legislative actions during the period. Meanwhile,
he said he was going to also do this in the satellite towns. And we have started with Buhari Area Council and Amak Area Council.
Also speaking, the Minister of State for the FCT, Maria Mahmoud, commended the initiative, stressing that the project will bring relief to communities in Karo and its environs by ensuring safe and potable water supply.
This project is beyond water, but it is a symbol of progress, also a promise fulfilled. Speaks louder than words. Today, the people of Karo and its environ feels the commitment, the impact of commitment of His Excellency in every home, on the street, and also in the heart. We thank Mr. President for all that he has been doing and the support he has been giving to our administration under Barrister Yeltsin Wike.
Representing the contractors, CGC Nigeria Limited, Lynn Herman, pledges quality and timely delivery, promising that the project will be completed ahead of schedule.
I wish to express my appreciation to our minister for his strong leadership and his concern for the people welfare. We believe under his leadership and with the joint effort of all the stakeholders, this project will be completed with high quality, with high efficiency.
When completed, the Karo Water project is expected to serve thousands of residents, enhance public health, and boost socio-economic activities across satellite towns in the FCT. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has begun a new high-level capacity building workshop for its patrol team leaders across the Federal Capital Territory as part of efforts to entrench integrity, discipline and civility in its operations. A statement issued by the Assistant Corps Marshal, Corps Public Education Officer Olusegun Ogunbamidele, he explained that the Corps has rolled out a training program specifically for team leaders who directly oversee field patrols in the FCT, stating that the goal is to reshape the way FRSC officers behave during operations. The grip of drugs on Nigeria's youth population is threatening, turning what was once a hidden issue into a national emergency. Beyond damage, health and crisis is tearing families apart, fueling insecurity and threatening the future of the country. Over to Samuel Odi's report. We apologize, that report will be brought in our subsequent bulletin. The International Organization of Migration, IOM, has donated 1.7 billion naira to support humanitarian relief efforts in the Yelwata and Naka communities of Guma and Gwero West local government area of Benue State. Benue State correspondent Felicity Indere tells us more.
The aid package, funded by the European Union, aims to alleviate the suffering of internally displaced persons affected by the June Yelwata attack in Goma and others from Gwe West. The donation was announced at the Government House, Makurdi, by IOM Deputy Director General for Operations, Ugochi Daniels, who led the delegation of UN agencies, EU envoys, and other dignitaries.
Today, I'm very pleased to announce, with much appreciation to the European Union, new funding of $1.1 million, which is 1.7 billion naira. And then in December, we will also launch a new initiative funded by the IOM Development Fund that is focused on reducing the risk of gender-based violence.
Governor Hyacinth Alia lauded the gesture and appealed for more support from development partners to facilitate the return of displaced persons to their ancestral homes.
My dream was to see a day when every internally displaced person will return to their ancestral home. And I and the government of Benue State are engaging all parties, including the federal government of Nigeria, the UN agencies and other international partners, to make this dream become a reality.
The delegation also visited the Otese IDP camp and community to commission a water project and assessed conditions at the mega camp, reaffirming IOM's partnership with the state government, as well as listen to IDPs air out their concerns. Representatives of IDP expressed gratitude for the aid and urged for a swift return to their ancestral homes. In Makurdi, Felicity Indere reporting for Global TV News.
Minister of Interior Dr. Olubumi Tunji-Ojo has charged newly promoted senior officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) to uphold diligence, fairness and integrity as they take on greater responsibilities. Represented by the Secretary of the Civil Defense, Fire, Correctional and Immigration Services Board, Major General Abdul Malik Jibril, retired. The minister gave the charge while decorating 22 Assistant Commandant General of Corps at the Dr. Ade Abolunrin Auditorium in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere has details.
It was a day of pride, joy, and renewed responsibility as 22 senior officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps received their long-awaited promotion to the rank of Assistant Commandant General. The colorful decoration ceremony not only marked a career milestone for the officers, but also a moment of celebration for their families who witnessed the achievement. Representing the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubumi Tunji-Ojo, the Secretary of the Civil Defense, Fire, Correctional and Immigration Service Board, Major General Abdul Malik Jibril, retired, reminded the newly promoted officers that promotion comes with accountability and urged them to bring innovation that will help address Nigeria's current security challenges.
With security across the country, as already mentioned. We expect that they will bring to bear their various experiences to bear in tackling the challenges of national security.
On his part, Commandant General of NSCDC, Professor Abubakar Ahmed Audi, while congratulating the officers, urged them to show loyalty, professionalism, and dedication while mentoring their subordinates. He also commended the minister's reform, which have cleared promotion stagnation in the service.
See what happens today. That is the product of hard work, commitment, and unwavering determination. So we thank the president for this. Then to our officers that are decorated today, you've heard it from my minister. He said to whom much is given, much is expected. And it is popularly said that the higher you go, the tougher it becomes. The more promotion you get, the more challenges you face. So at this level, they have entered a very, very senior cadre of the management of the corps. And so they are expected, you've heard it from the minister, to be role models. They are expected to behave very well. And of course, they are expected to mentor.
The newly decorated officers pledged to justify their new ranks with renewed commitment to national security and service to the country. Highlight of the event was the oath of allegiance administered to the officers and the presentation of 5 million naira checks to the families of the personnel who lost their lives in the line of duty. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Commissioner of Police for the Federal Capital Territory, Ajao Adewale, has disclosed that illegal mining has evolved into a powerful cartel-controlled business funded by influential Nigerians. This illicit trade is driving banditry and costing the nation an estimated $9 billion, 13.7 trillion naira every year. The FCT Commissioner of Police made this known at a media brief organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Abuja. Kike Lomo Okere tells us more.
Speaking at the media briefing organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists FCT Council, the fight against illegal mining, role of the media in Abuja, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Ajao Adewale, described illegal mining as one of the Nigeria's most serious national security threats. He identified Zamfara, Nasarawa, Kogi, Kaduna, Niger, Kwara, Osun, and part of the FCT as major hotspots. Notably, over 72 suspects connected to illegal mining were arrested in Abuja alone between 2023 and 2024. Adewale emphasized that without strong cooperation between security agencies and the media, this criminals cartel will continue to prosper.
From illegal mining, and I'm taking what has happened between 2023 and 2025. Within these 3 years, Nigeria has lost a total of 41.1 trillion naira to illegal mining in physical cash. This is outside the human life that has been wasted.
In a remark, Grace Ike, the chairman of the NUJ FCT Council, called on journalists to move beyond basic reporting. She urged them to engage in investigative journalism that uncovers the financier behind illegal mining, gives voice to affected communities, and exerts pressure on policymakers.
We must leverage these platforms responsibly and disseminate vital information, debunk misinformation, and encourage a national conversation on sustainable mining practices, and that's exactly why we are gathered here today.
By providing balanced and accurate coverage, the media can shed light on the hidden danger, highlight the human and environmental toll, and compel authorities to take decisive action. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, Lagos ready to host 2025 National Youth Games. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, Nigerians seeking an estimated $23 billion to drive a nationwide renewable energy push that could transform electricity access for more than 119 million people, boost economic productivity and reduce dependence on fossil fuels. This comes as the Rural Electrification Agency in Delta State governments have signed a pact to provide power to over 386,000 off-grid communities and create 31,220 new jobs in the state. Going by the government's Universal Electrification for Nigeria least cost model, a combination of solar home systems, mini-grids and grid extensions could address the country's power supply deficit. Over now to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged Nigerians to try a newly launched personal income tax calculator that estimates how much will be paid under the tax reforms his administration recently signed into law. In a post on his official X account, the president said the calculator allows citizens to compare their estimated tax under the proposed reforms with current rates and ensure a clear understanding of individual income. Tinubu said the reforms, which takes effect from January 2026, are intended to establish a fair tax system, one that never punishes poverty or weighs down the most vulnerable. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has declared that the country is firmly on the course to ramp up crude oil output to 2.5 million barrels per day by 2026, following its strategy to unlock deep water potentials, review dormant fields and accelerate approvals for new projects. The chief executive of the regulatory agency, Gbenga Komolafe, stated this in Abuja while delivering his goodwill message at the 2025 Pegasin Energy and Labour Summit. He also announced the completion of a case-by-case review of the marginal field licensing that are due for renewal. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says it has recorded a substantial decline in its profit after tax, dropping from 905 billion in June to 185 billion naira in July. This represents a staggering 79.6% decrease in profit. The company in its monthly report release said it recorded 4.41 trillion naira in July, down from 4.57 trillion naira in the previous month. On the foreign scene now, an Air Force fighter aircraft has launched 3 targeted and successive strikes on the position Bakora used to occupy in Shilawa. The army says Bakora, whose real name is Ibrahim Momodu, has been the leader of Boko Haram since 2021. Originally from Nigeria, Mohamedou joined Boko Haram 13 years ago and took over the group after the death of the former leader Abubakar Shekau. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Thursday said negotiations will resume immediately for the release of all hostages and an end to the nearly 2-year war in Gaza. Speaking to soldiers near Israel's border with Gaza, he added that he was still set on approving plans for defeating Hamas and capturing Gaza City. His remark comes ahead of the high-level security meeting with defense chiefs and cabinet ministers to approving the operational plans. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has renewed his call for an immediate ceasefire as Israel approves a military plan for Gaza City. Speaking to reporters in Japan on the sidelines of the Tokyo International Conference on Africa Development, Guterres called for the unconditional release of hostages held by Hamas. In sports news now, Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, says recent federal government rewards to athletes are part of a strategy to secure the future of Nigerian sports. He spoke at the Nest Resort Center in Abuja during an interactive session with youth hosted by APC National Youth Leader Dr. Dayo Israel. Fulham are targeting a move for Brazil winger Philips Otele. GMS says Fulham had their scouts in attendance during Brazil's UEFA Champions League playoff tie against Danish club. The former league club are now considering whether to place a formal offer. The 26-year-old arrived Brazil from United Arab Emirates side Al Wahda on loan in January 2025. The Director General of Lagos State Sports Commission, Lekan Fatodu, has reaffirmed the state's readiness to host the 10th edition of the National Youth Games in 2026. Lagos State submitted its bid to host the Games earlier this year, and as part of the bidding process, top management staffs of the Lagos State Sports Commission alongside National Sports Commission delegates embarked on a 2-day inspection tour of the sports facilities across the state. And that's it on Global TV News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good evening.